Coming up in this episode, we drive into the forest, Steve chokes on a fly, I go bird spotting and spot an absolutely huge one. Plus, we've plenty of foxing action as Dwayne tells us what he's been up to.
And the fan has been keeping me box cold all day.
We're now going out foxing, but we're just stuffing our faces first. There's plenty of foxing action in this video. It goes back to when it was a lot warmer. We're done up like Eskimos. It's actually a little foggy tonight, so we'll just see how it goes. But since the beginning of the shooting season, been out foxing, just had the odd one here and there. So this is a collection of videos from then. I hope you enjoy it. I'll catch up with you very soon. Take care, stay safe, and as always, what's the line, Rick?
Eat up.
Eat up. Happy shooting.
So, when he's not cocking up the intro to my videos or driving me around foxing, Rick's tickling his favourite partridge. No, that's not a euphemism for anything, by the way. He is in fact our farm's keeper, and a lot of hard work goes into that too. These first few videos are clearly from a few months back where the weather was much warmer and drier. They're also dedicated to a fan of the show who met Rick on a recent shoot, so a warm welcome to Mr. Martin Trett from Norfolk, more commonly called Tretty. Thank you for entertaining the big man on his shoot. He had a fabulous time. This first fox then, I'm out with Steve the gamekeeper. We spot it come out of the cover and across this field. By the time I'd got onto the rifle, it decided it was going stage left, staying out just too far really for me to be comfortable shooting, and it's really quite a windy evening. It makes it all the way to the dike. We rock up forward to see if it's going to come up the dike towards our location, as we've shot several foxes there before. It doesn't, but we do get a few minutes entertainment from this beautiful deer here, observed through the HIKMICRO stellar scope. After around 10 minutes with no sign of the fox, I decide to take the recon sticks and rifle to see if I can catch up with it further into the field. All of a sudden, I see the fox really close in the field to my left, walking back towards the dike. I didn't have time to record it with the spotter. I wanted to get myself set up on the sticks as soon as possible, but it was over 3 minutes before it popped out just 64 yards in front of me. I rushed the shot knowing I'd hit it, as it made a deft dash 25 yards before dropping in the greens to the right. Far back, and it is a vixen. Yeah, not a young'un, not a mega old one, a little bit far back the shot, and it's high because it was again only 64 yards or so, but that is a result. Staying with the windy theme, and this time I'm out with Dwayne after a local chicken killer, and we'd only been out a couple of minutes. That seems to be a reoccurring theme with Dwayne, but this fox was spotted right opposite the owner's house and taken down very swiftly. Cracking looking fox. Absolute beauty. Is a stunning specimen. Seeing as we'd bagged that one within 5 minutes of being out, it was rude not to go and have a look at a couple of other likely spots. I'd actually just shot a fox that I didn't manage to get on record. That's laying in the ditch to my left, and another fox just came aimlessly wandering around the farm track and came right to me without any call whatsoever. So, well, look, when they're coming, let them come. Oi. Oi. Another successful outing then for me and the former big man, Dwayne. I say former big man as Dwayne's lost the weight of a child this last few months, and you never know, he might even do some more of his own picking up now. Anywho, a lot of the land that we patrol is close to an RAF training ground. This can have its advantages. The foxes aren't always put off by strange noises, and we're able to get some pretty cool stuff on thermal. I actually spotted these two while out with Steve again in a stubble field. Using the HIKMICRO GC500 caller, playing mouse and vole, I get a great reaction from fox number 1. As I'm looking through the rifle, I hand the HIKMICRO Raptor thermal spotter to Steve the gamekeeper, who continues to film as this fox comes bombing in right from the other side of the field. Often a good way of enticing that fox in just that little bit closer is a simple lip squeak just like that to get them well within range. A nice steady shot off the top of the Land Rover straight into the engine room is enough to drop it on the spot. Fox number 2 moves back another 30 metres or so, but stays in the field. Being a few months ago now, these foxes are still, or were still, a little bit young and dumb. I opt for a call that mimics two foxes play fighting, and eventually, though more cautious than the first, this fox can't help but want to come in for a closer look.
First farm was a blank. Second farm I could see two foxes mousing at the edge of the game cover. Took a little while, but eventually came in. This one came in a screamer. Little fat thing it is, look. Cool. That's the dog. Young dog. Handsome fellow. He's a fatty though. And then the other one, very cautiously came in a bit further up here. I purposely changed the call, so that first dog fox came in crackingly to me just lip squeaking. Tried a few rodent calls to catch the attention of this other one, but nothing. So I thought I'd try some fox vocalisation on the HIKMICRO GC500, and that piqued its interest. Still very cautious. Another dog. Two young lads playing. These are just early cubs. That first shot shot his bottom jaw off, and then he needed another one. He got it, but anyway, two dogs down. Good result.
We pretty much went the rest of that night not seeing a great deal. But then, the very last field, which had only been cut the day before, I spot a fox out the hatch of the Land Rover. I get ready on the rifle, and lo and behold, there's two youngsters out frolicking again. Now, there's a bank of earth at the other side of the bushes, almost as tall, in fact, as them, as that's a farm access road. However, I instruct Steve to move forward, as I think the distance that we are currently, they can't quite hear my lip squeak. this time the lip squeak provokes a great reaction from fox number 1. Fox number 1 dropped on the spot. Fox number 2 gave me the opportunity for the shot, and I'll be honest, at first I thought I'd missed.
Well done, Bobbin.
Yeah.
God help work bringing them on.
Yeah, I know. I tell you what, that second one was way. I know it ran a bit, but that was a lot further, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I thought it was. So the first one started coming to you, didn't it?
Yeah, ever so well.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right. Another good-looking fox, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beauty.
Yeah, that's.
Good way of finishing it. I like the way we both had the same idea. We'll do that field at the side of the tin shed because it's
Yeah, well, I
just
thought
been cut.
that up there, before you even see the cap, I thought, well, come through that gap and just look here.
Yeah.
Well done. That's a dog.
Oh, it's high. Is it high in the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good size cub as well.
That's the same there.
That's not high in the back actually.
No, no.
It's through the
It's through there.
double lunged it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Took out. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, nah.
So a quartet of youngsters taken there off Steve's patch was a great result that early on in the foxing peak season, I guess we could call it. The very next night I was out with Rick. I don't know where the scope footage has gone from this fox. I remember pressing the record, I remember viewing it, but I've gone through my archives and don't seem to have it. However, Rick's son Jake was actually recording again using the accolades for me on my behalf, so this is another young cub, and I actually got another one here as well, so here's another double that I had. One of the great things about being and actually working outdoors is the plethora of wildlife that you get to see, and it's just moments like this that you can sometimes just stop and observe that make living and working in the countryside very much worthwhile. Fast forward a few weeks now and there's still plenty to be done around the farm. The ducks are eating insane amounts of food and there's the last few remaining partridge in the pens to be released. With all this game about, invariably you're going to attract some unwanted attention from the red menaces. This fox was shot the day after we'd had Storm Lane, or some woman's name. It's funny how they always call the bad ones after a woman though, isn't it? Notice in the background we've got plenty of large trees down here. This is just up the road from the gamekeeper's house where he himself has several birds in pens. So any foxes in this area need to be taken out.
Oh wow. That's a bruiser. Yeah, had to be a dog. That's a good lump of a fox, that. So, seen a couple tonight. Super wary. It's only a young lad, but he's a big lad. So Good result.
This particular clip now is just all by its lonesome. This is a particularly miserable evening from a session I'd had with Rick. After this we actually turned around and went home because everything was just getting so damp and wet. But we did call one fox out, and in fact Rick hastily tells me there was another fox just to the left, even closer than this one. But by the time I'd reloaded, heard what Rick had said, this one was definitely hightailing its ass way out. So that one lives to fight another day. A few months ago I took a trip down to the Forest of Dean with my good friend Dave from the YouTube channel Predator Protection UK. We actually went there looking for wild boar. This is our host George, the host with the most, giving us the lowdown and telling us where we can expect to see them coming from, etc, etc. Very much the host with the most, as on arrival we had a beautiful barbecue in the rain and just enjoying our surroundings. This is the morning after the night before. You'll see the fox footage in just a second, but I was up in the hide of luxury just up here, and I shot this fox right under Dave's nose in that hide there. After not seeing any piggy wiggies on the first night, we stayed a second night, and that time it was Dave in the hot seat, as he had one there of 3 foxes that he'd shot. But I'll leave the rest of the footage for you to go and view on Dave's channel. So I'll put a link in this video's description, but here's a couple more snippets from that video on his channel. That's Predator Protection UK, where you can see just a small amount of the damage that these absolute units have done. These are 2 wild boar that George himself owns. It's just a phenomenal thing to witness close up. They are prehistoric looking both in the flesh. That's the skull from a sow that was taken on George's property. We also even managed a little bit of squirrel action as well. Well worth checking out Dave's channel Predator Protection UK, because he's got a fairly extensive back catalogue of a whole manner of different shooting type videos, so go ahead over and check that out. Right, back on with the foxing action. This time I'm out with Rick, and this one we called off of Steve's farm, right in front of the duck pond you saw us feeding just a short time ago.
It's not limping anymore.
Could any of you identify the animal barking there in the background? If you could, then let me know in the comments below.
Well, hey boys and girls, look who I'm with.
Hello everybody.
It's my wingman Dwayne, and tonight we're going foxing, surprise surprise. What have you been up to today, Dwayne?
Well, I was out early this morning. I had 2 young lads on the geese. They had a good morning and that, and then as you know, it's been really hot today, so I come on and did a bit of time with the missus and kids and did a bit of shopping, and come home this afternoon because it was just absolutely roasting. Put the fan on, put the telly on, and sat on the settee, cocked my leg up, and the fan has been keeping me cold all day. So that's
Nice.
my day.
Yeah, it's hot. We're hot foxing. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we've been to this location before. We filmed here. This is a private small holding dwelling, and actually we've shot for both this person and the person's neighbour. We got called back, didn't we?
We did, mate, yeah.
And dealt with a fox for their neighbour. So, and I've said that to you guys before. You know, if you turn up, you do a good job. You know, then landowners talk to other landowners, and you can end up with a permission next door, which is exactly what happened here. Some lightning going on.
It's an absolutely peach of a storm over there.
Yeah, we've got some lightning right up ahead. Anyway, we're waffling. The plan of attack is get the HIKMICRO GC500 caller out, and plenty of observation with a thermal. See what we can see. We'll catch you in a bit. Ciao for now.
So while Jane, mind you, I'm sure he's been called a lot worse, while Dwayne even sorts out the rest of his kit from the truck, I'm having a little scan around with the thermal to see if we've got any foxes in the immediate vicinity before we even think about using the caller. At first I thought we're straight in, but then as soon as it started walking you could plainly see that it was a cat, and this, however, is not a cat. This fox came out of the neighbour's strip of cover straight towards property number 2, in fact, which is the next door neighbour that we've shot plenty of foxes for. It just seemed really cautious. There was plenty of lip squeaking going on at this point. The wind was in our favour, so I don't think it winded us. Nevertheless, it made it, and it went all the way round the outside of the field. Now, knowing this area by now, it actually went behind the property that we're here to protect. So I turned round and said to Dwayne, I'm going to go and try and have a little look for this fox the other side of the property on the neighbouring field. Even on the other side of the farm, where it was a little bit windier, this fox off camera had played cat and mouse with me before finally settling a good 150 yards out in the field. It took me a few seconds to get my breathing and steadiness under control before taking the shot. You can see Dwayne just the other side of the property. Their house is in the middle, and all the problem areas actually in this bit here, and that's the next door neighbours just there. And the fox lies in this field here after going around the back of the property.
Well, the crafty bugger flanked us, went round the back of the property, and I said I'll come and have a look on the field next door, and there he was. We'll measure that back to the tree where I stood at that fox. Little vixen, I'm guessing, been around a while. Yeah, vixen, wily. Not a cub from this year. Well, last year's probably, maybe the year before that. Either way, great result for the landowner, so we'll just measure that back.
We won't just measure it back because we did. It was 153 yards and it was a good result. That said, I have been back this week and had another 2 foxes from that very same property. Back out with the keeper on a fairly breezy evening, and we spot this fox mousing just a bit too close to the game covers for our liking. Utilising the wind and utilising the fox's preoccupation with catching dinner to our advantage, I'm able to stalk in to this one and shoot it at 160 yards off the sticks.
Oh, how pleasing is that? Long foot stalk, using the wind, ambient noise from these massive wind turbines. This fox had no idea I was here. Look at this. It's been elusive, I've been after this for a while. Great result. Young dog, but he knew the score. Great example of a fox, that. Really good. Lovely and clean. Oh, what about that for a foot stalk?
Eh?
I said, what about that for a foot stalk?
What it? What you?
Yeah. 165 yards.
It chased a deer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it bumped a deer and then
Yeah,
it
I
chased
know.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well done.
What a result.
Heard the gun rattle.
Did you?
Yeah, f***ing did.
Yeah.
As if one long foot stalk wasn't enough, later on the same evening we actually spot another fox paying no attention to the call a long way off. I walk the entire length of that field, only to find that the fox has bedded down in one of the tatey rows on the neighbouring field, so I'm going to have to cross the dyke and try and get in a little bit closer, all in the cover of darkness. Never a good thing when you've got to cross a dyke in the dark. Anyway, I do manage to painstakingly get into about 100 or so yards.
Well, for the second time tonight, I've walked and stalked and gone off the recon tripod in this friggin' awkward tatey rose, and this one was asleep, well, bedding down for the night. I've just walked across an entire field, and then knew he was napping in the tatey rose here, so we took him while he slept. Very rewarding. The foxes that we're getting at the moment, not really interested in the call, super wily, seemingly educated. We have had a few, issues with poachers and bits and bobs, running dogs on pretty much anything they can get near. So yeah, what a pain in the backside. I could just see his head. Let's make sure I'm steady because we've got a bit of a breeze. Boshed him in the noggin. Ooh. Damn. Yeah, that's not pretty. He's going to need a good dentist, that one. Yeah. He's an old boy. Yes. Cool. Blimey. He's a thick set lad. Christ. Look at that. Absolutely obliterated it. Well, it's nothing if not humane.
Well, it's another good result for Team Foxer. Speaking of good results, I've got some great footage coming up for you guys. Myself and Dwayne have had a cracking night. In fact, we had 101 rats from this permission here. So that video will be coming up over the festive season, along with a cracking squirrel video as well. But for now, take care, stay safe, and as always, happy shooting.
Goodbye.